Cinda Sells here, and welcome to a new episode of Cinda Tells TV. So, everybody's still talking about being in a housing bubble because they're seeing prices going up, and I thought I would just quickly tell you, I did a video earlier this year about it, but I'm going to tell you really quick why we're not. 3 really good, impactful reasons. And the first one is, in the old days of when we were in the housing bubble, which was at the throes of the recession, we had so much inventory and we didn't have enough buyers to buy them. Well, today is the complete opposite of that. We have little inventory and we have so many buyers that want to buy. So that's reason number 1. Number 2 is foreclosures were at an all-time high during that period of time. Again, adding into the fact that there were so many homes for sale because so many homes had unfortunately foreclosed. Today, it's at an all-time low. It's never been this low as far as foreclosure activities, which just goes to show you there's so many different factions and people that are buying homes. There's investors buying properties. There's people trying to own homes. There's all kinds of things that are going on as far as real estate is concerned and buying. The third one is, which is a big one and came as a result of what happened during the recession and that last housing bubble, and that was the lending standards have really tightened up. So before we hit the recession, what happened was, if you'll remember, there were non-qualifying loans, which means you could just do an application for a loan and say, I make $100,000 a year, but they never qualified you. You could have a low credit scores in the 5s. I even saw some in the very low 5s, crazy. Today, that can't happen. So they've tightened those standards up. You have to qualify for a loan, and there aren't any 100% financing loans, except for VA. And you have to be a veteran to get that. So that really impacted a lot of how we stopped the recession from further deteriorating, because you could not buy a house unless you actually qualified to buy that home. Okay, now I think really though, our biggest concern is inflation. So we're talking a lot about inflation, and the feds were just going to raise the rates 3 times. That's what we heard at the very end of 2021. But now, as you know, they're going up and they're going up and they're going up. And today I think they're 4.1. They're going to go up higher than that because this is what they're trying to do to get the inflation under control. So here's what I'm predicting, or going to say that I think is going to happen, and that is we are still seeing equity growing in 2022. That's what they're all saying. Now, there's no certainty to anything, right? But that's what the experts are telling us right now. We have a 12 to 14% equity gain, which is great. You can still sell your home and make a ton load of money. But will that continue on? Yes, but not at that rate. So what they're saying is supposed to balance out to maybe a 5%, which is normal, 5% to 6% equity gain throughout the year. The problem is that because inflation impacts not just housing, it impacts everything. It impacts everything that you buy. So gasoline going up impacts everything that ships and everything that we buy. So you've got new construction costs that are going up, and because you've got demand for new homes, right? But the supplies are going to continue to go up. And at some point, these homes aren't going to be affordable. That's just my opinion on that. So what do you do? What can you do? Well, if you have been thinking that you want to sell your home and you want to make a lateral move or a move where you're going to sell high and buy low, I really think this year is the time you should do it, because I think this year is probably going to be the last year that we see this kind of crazy equity growth. It's something that you need to think about, because you might want to, and a lot of people are, they're selling their homes, they're getting top dollar for their homes this year, and they're going to rent for a year. Not a bad idea until you were to maybe buy something in the next year, or maybe relocate to another area where homes are cheaper, or there's all kinds of options out there for some people that would be able to do that. But we've been being told that this might be the last really super duper good year to cash in on the high equity. And so that's something for you to think about. If your home is paid for, You might think about doing a reverse mortgage too if you're at that age where you think it's something that could work for you. I know there's all kinds of negative things about that, but I happen to find out that that is not always the case. There are some really good things about having a reverse mortgage as someone that's over 65 years old that can help them reach their goals for the future and be able to afford a home that they couldn't before because they didn't have that kind of a mortgage. So I think this is a conversation that you probably should have with your accountant, with your realtor, which I hope would be me, or someone on my team here that could help you discover whether this is really a great time for you to sell your home. So if you have any questions about this or have concerns or you want to talk more and have a discussion, talk is free. And so we'd be happy to be able to talk to you about that. And you can reach out to us at 816-600-7355 or visit us on the website and sign up, and we will contact you at cindasales.com. Thanks for stopping by today and have a wonderful day.